It looks like Xbox and Asus are working on more than just a handheld, and there will be a big reveal soon for what is else is coming from that collaboration. Fair Games. There is a report going around that it was canceled. We now have more information on that. What is going on with Fair Games? Chris Hansen's going after Roblox, and we have some info here on Resident Evil Requiem. Some interesting stuff here on who you'll be playing with, or I guess how many characters you will be playing with. But before we do get into it, if you enjoy daily gaming content, daily gaming news, hit the subscribe, share, like, all that stuff. For now, let's get into the news. So Gamescom is around the corner, and we're going to get a lot more information, impressions, and looks at the Asus ROG Xbox ROG Ally and the Ally X, which I'm very excited for. I think this will be a nice beginning to what we can expect for the future of Xbox. It's not going to have all the features that I'm looking for right now, but I think it will eventually expand out to that. But the thing that I am most excited for is that new user interface to get you out of that Windows experience when using a PC handheld, getting access to the Xbox ecosystem. How will this affect battery life? How will this affect performance? And how good will the Ally X be with the new chip that's inside of it that I don't believe has ever been used so far on other handhelds? How much performance will we be getting out of that? All of that stuff to look forward to in terms of impressions and reviews that I'm sure we'll get more over the next coming weeks. We have a lot of information as to when we're going to get this handheld. October 16th looks like it is the date it will be releasing. But it looks like as of right now, the Asus ROG Ally isn't the only thing that Xbox and Asus are working on that they're going to be revealing here at Gamescom. There is something else here in the works that Asus is hyping up here as extraordinary that they are going to be revealing here at Gamescom. They put out this trailer, this video, this kind of promotion here, and you can see that it is a controller. Asus has made some pretty interesting controllers with like touchscreens on and everything, but it is a controller. It does look like there will be some sort of screen here in the middle. At least that's what I get from looking at this. Or maybe they're just trying to highlight the ROG logo. And then it has the Xbox button up top. So there will be some sort of special, extraordinary controller that they are going to show off here at Gamescom. They put this out here. From material to a new form of power, something extraordinary is coming. Get ready to experience the future of gaming at ROG Gamescom 2025. Stay tuned. And yeah, that's basically all they did show off. So we should be seeing this relatively soon. What exactly is it? How big of a jump will it be in just the controllers that you're going to be able to get on Xbox? As of right now, there are so many controllers that you can get from Xbox as well as like the third-party stuff. So there's so many different options there, and third-party controllers in today's day and age, there's tons of good ones. Like you have the 8-bit controllers, like the 8-bit Do, Ultimate 3 and Ultimate 2 controllers, which are great. And there's many other companies out there that do make it third parties controllers. I remember back in the day with the older generations, the third party controllers were always terrible. They would break. They just were not nearly as good, but we're kind of moved away from that. So I wonder what Asus is going to do here, what big jump this controller will bring in. Is it really going to be extraordinary, or is it all hype? But either way, we should be getting some hardware stuff here at Gamescom for Xbox, which is pretty cool to see. Fair Games. This is the next games as a service bet that PlayStation does have. We all know what happened with Concord. We all know that they have not done well on games as a service or multiplayer. They even admitted it themselves that they're having struggles with this during their most recent financial report. And I think maybe some people disagree with this, but I think games as a service multiplayer is something that PlayStation absolutely needs to continue to survive and thrive going forward into the next generation. The cost of developing their single player games have gotten so high. They need games out there that are bringing in reoccurring revenue, and they're banking on some of these multiplayer games to do this. Concord was a major bet for them that failed miserably. They have Bungie, which knows how to make these styles of games, so they're really hoping Marathon will be able to take off. And then you have Haven Studios, which is Jade Raymond's studio that PlayStation purchased and got them to make another multiplayer games as a service game here in Fair Games, which is kind of a head scratcher because Jade Raymond is known for Assassin's Creed. So you think they could have done something more on an open world or a single player action adventure style of game, but they decided to go here with the multiplayer games as a service, Fair Games. And we got some information here that is wrong, but I would not be shocked if this does end up coming true at some point in the future based off of the track record of PlayStation. And it was Michael Patcher here saying that Fair Games was canceled. Now, Michael Patcher says a lot of things. He gets a lot of things wrong, at least in my opinion. I think he says things that aren't always fully true or come to fruition. He said things about Xbox, he said things about PlayStation in the past that just weren't very true. But he comes out here and he says this. Oh, we need some of that, except that they bought Bungie to do it. Bungie made Halo. They're obviously very talented. They made Destiny. Destiny was good. It had ongoing in-game spend, but they paid 3.6 billion for it. They didn't buy a mobile publisher like Scopely for 4.9 billion, which has 3 billion or 3.5 billion of revenue. Bungie has 300 million in revenue. They didn't buy Niantic, which has 1.5 billion of revenue. They didn't buy people who know how to make live service games, and they turned all their console developers into live service developers. And I agree with that statement there. That is something that Sony did, which is very mind-boggling, why they got a bunch of studios that don't make live service, that make single player experiences to try to make live service games, expecting them to just be able to do it and it'd be easy to do. And that's obviously been a failure for them. Says which resulted in Concord being shut down and the studio being shut down, which resulted in Jade Raymond being let go and her Fair Games canceled. So he says Fair Games canceled there and Jade Raymond being let go. Jade Raymond did leave. We don't know. I don't think the exact details. I could be wrong on that, but I'm not sure we know the exact details as to what happened with her, whether she just left on her own volition or they fired her or whatever. They don't really reveal that stuff. However, Fair Games in no way had ever been announced that it was canceled by PlayStation, not in financial reports, not hinted at, anything like that. So people were saying that it was canceled, and you had to take that with a grain of salt. It did get confirmed here, though, that Michael Patcher was wrong and he made a mistake. I had some thoughts on this previously about that was going around. I thought this could probably be a slip of the tongue because Michael Patcher is kind of known for getting stuff wrong. And that's exactly what it is. He says there, this is from Destin saying, I misspoke, said Jade was let go and assumed it was canceled. I have no info on the game at all. Feel free to quote this. I truly don't know. So he has no idea whether the game is canceled. And not shocking because we had no info on Fair Games, whether it was canceled or not. And right now it isn't canceled. Right now it's still in development and is still set to come out. This is a game that I think is going to be a game that they put out on every platform day one, Xbox, and everybody's going to try to be able to jump in and play it. So PlayStation can try to build some sort of user base for a new multiplayer game that they've created and then continue to try to foster that user base forward with microtransactions and battle passes and just keep them playing for a long period of time. Will it work out for them? Based off of their track record, it is going to be hard. And based off of the track record of new multiplayer games and new IPs, it will be difficult to compete in a current arena where people play the games that they like playing and they don't move off of them. They're going and playing Call of Duty. They're playing Battlefield now, which is coming out this year. They're playing stuff that they've played for a long time, like Fortnite. And jumping onto something new is harder to succeed in this world for multiplayer live service games. So we will see. My biggest question is, why doesn't Sony at any point look into jumping into their old IPs, like bringing back a Killzone or something? I feel like that would have a better chance at succeeding from a multiplayer game. They have SOCOM as well. I know that's an older crowd, people who experienced those games back in the day, but they definitely has that IP notoriety, which would build a hype for newer people to come in and try. And I think that one could actually do good too if they were to build a good game from it. So that part has been very weird where they haven't even tried with this whole live service push to jump into some of their catalog of games that they have that haven't come out in a long time and see if those will succeed, because they already have assets. They already have a lot of stuff for those games that they could just build upon. Said they're trying new stuff, which isn't bad, but they're not putting it in the direction that gamers want. We saw that with Concord, and we'll see if Fair Games goes along those lines as well. And I wonder when we'll see this game next, because if we're not seeing it this year, and PlayStation hadn't had a major showcase in a very, very long time where they've shown off all the stuff that they're working on. We know right now with all the canceled stuff, studios are just starting new projects because they were working on these games that got canceled. They have to move on to something else, and that stuff won't be ready to show off for a long time. Roblox, there's crazy stuff going on here with Roblox. It seems like a very predatory game for children. It's just sad that this stuff does happen. It's disgusting this stuff happens, and we're seeing stories and all this stuff. Chris Hansen, as we know, for the show To Catch a Predator, he is doing a deep report on Roblox here. They're trying to figure out and get to the bottom of to what is going on and try to get some accountability here for Roblox. It was a rumor that was going around, but now it is 100% confirmed, as Chris Hansen did come out here with a tweet and saying that they are working on a Roblox story. He says, "You may have heard that my streaming crime network True Blue and I are investigating the exploitation of children on the popular gaming platform Roblox. It's absolutely true, and we're deep into it. I've already interviewed law enforcement investigators and victims of the horrible activity. We have collaborators, some people who have been working in this space, including Schlepp, who have committed to help us in this endeavor. Will Roblox actually say something about it? Will it make any changes? We're going to do our best to hold them accountable." So they're going to do something here. This will be a very interesting story to see what comes out of it, because it is pretty crazy here, the stuff that we are hearing about Roblox. If you're a parent out there and your kid's playing it, definitely keep an eye on that game and maybe delete the game for at least for now, because it's one of the most popular games out there. And tons of people are playing it. You have to wonder how deep and how far does this thing go. Finally, Resident Evil Requiem. We got some rumors here about what will be playable in terms of characters. It looks like it may have 3 playable characters in this game. It says here from the leaker here, Dusk Golem, who responded to a tweet from this person, Newton Bitcoin Hero, saying, "Dusk, can you tell us how many characters will be playable? I imagine it will be 4, just like in Revelations, right?" He says Leon and Grace, a little Alyssa, but that's really it. So 3 playable characters in the next Resident Evil Requiem, which I can't wait to see more about this game, because I've loved this trilogy and I like Resident Evil games in general. It's one of the, I would say, not only, but one of the main horror games that I do enjoy and do play. So I am excited to see here what comes out from more of Resident Evil Requiem. Will we see more Gamescom opening it live? Will we see more of the Game Awards? I'm sure we'll see more of it soon, as there's got to be more information. We got the release dates just recently. So this game, I believe, is coming out actually not too far away in February 2026. So it's still kind of far away, but it's not that far away. It's under a year where we're going to be able to finally jump in and play this game. But I'll end the video there. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up. If you're new here, hit that subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.